Cardano has just successfully hard forked Vasil on the test network. In today's video, I want to go over what we can expect for the mainnet and also how things are going to unravel for Cardano DeFi and Cardano dApps alike, as well as the user experience that will come with Vasil's mainnet hard fork. First things first, if you're living under a rock and you don't stake your ADA, please consider doing so with the Jack stake pool to earn passive ADA on your ADA. Now, in general, crypto markets are looking glim. This is just how it is. Things aren't that bright, and people are probably not getting out of bed as quickly as they were a few months ago or in the latter half of 2021. That being said, though, even though Cardano price is down, and especially so from the last hard fork or the last major hard fork for smart contracts that happened over a year ago, we're now approaching, honestly, maybe even more important hard fork for Cardano's future than ever before, and the price is sitting at 45 cents. Just wanted to document that. I'm not going to comment on where I think the price is going to go because I definitely have no freaking idea. Now, the Cardano hard fork for Vasil has been successfully confirmed on the testnet. Today, as I mentioned, we're talking about what to expect. Tim Harrison has written some great pieces and words here for us to digest, and I want to cover them today on what we can look forward to going forward and how things are going to unravel or how things are going to go on behind the scenes to give the users and the developers of Cardano a better experience and also become even more decentralized, which is very important. Last week at the end of June, we have seen node version 1.35.0 come out, and this is the foundation for the Vasil upgrade. This release enables the use of new Plutus capabilities after the Vasil upgrade, including node and CLI support for reference inputs, inline datums, reference scripts, collateral output, and Plutus v2 primitives, all of which we're going to cover in depth in this video. So if you want to know more about each one of these things I just mentioned and what they do and how they're going to benefit the user and developer experience on Cardano, then stay tuned. First things first, Vasil is the upgrade that basically ensures more scaling on Cardano. It is part of the Basho era, and this era does ironically focus on scaling. We are also focusing on governance a lot here, and definitely decentralization is coming into this kind of upgrade here. There's a lot of things that are part of Vasil, but Vasil's main focus is scaling, and it is doing that, and it is doing that very well with a lot of things coming together to make a better, more highly efficient network for the user. In September, though, last year, as I mentioned, Alonso introduced smart contract support, and Cardano in general has seen a lot of growth since, with DEXs, with NFT marketplaces, and things have at many points gotten very, very clouded, or not clouded, but congested rather. And this may have made a lot of people mad. Recently, there's been less congestion as the bear market has kind of, taken its toll on the markets in general and transaction volumes, but still there is definitely a need for a more secure and more scaled network here on Cardano. Thousands of projects are still building on Cardano, and the Vasil upgrade will provide some key capabilities to enable further projects to launch, as well as offer an upgrade path, especially for DEXs now that have seen those, congestion issues and those issues that are limiting them for Cardano scaling at the moment. Existing dApps will be able to propel themselves forward, and yes, they probably are going to need a new, fresh audit, but in general, things are moving very smoothly, and especially so for DEXs and other dApps that haven't released yet. They can now take their time to implement some of Vasil's upgrades into their protocols and show Cardano users what a crazy good experience can look like with these upgrades. At least that is the hope here. But also with the Vasil hard fork, something that I mentioned earlier, which is decentralization, and the D parameter will also be removed from block production, making it more fully decentralized. And this will prevent refederation, which is a huge step for Cardano. Even in a scaling hard fork, we do have a major step for more decentralization in Cardano's block production. Of course, we have to keep in mind that Cardano is not fully decentralized, as there obviously is the founding partners that hold a lot of the keys to the kingdoms to make these changes and proposals. But every month, every day, we have more CIPs coming through and more things to make block production fully decentralized. And at this point, block production can't get that much more decentralized except for having more pools. At least that's the way I see it. Maybe I am wrong. Don't quote me on that. But in general, decentralization is still a driving force of Cardano, and I'm very glad to see that. Okay, now let's dive in depth to some of the key factors of the Vasil hard fork and the features that it brings. First, we have diffusion pipelining. This is very important. IOG has already been applying a series of steady, careful parameter optimizations, block size increases, script memory units increase throughout the year of 2022. And with diffusion pipelining, we can step things up a gear on this sense by improving block propagation times, thus enabling a higher throughput. Another key factor of pipelining is ensuring that the block header referencing the hash of a previous block is propagated correctly. The body of the block is retained within the metadata included in the next block, which is very essential for preventing DDoS attacks and having a full block confirmation. So this is good, making the blockchain more secure while scaling its kudos to this proposal. And also just in general, kudos to diffusion pipelining. I like that a lot. Ultimately, diffusion pipelining will add scalability by enabling further block size increases and Plutus script improvements as IOG continues to optimize the network throughout the rest of the year. Next, we have Plutus script enhancements, or aka optimizations for smart contracts, allowing for just better and more efficient systems for dApps and efficiency. And now we can go over first addition of reference inputs. This is CIP31. This upgrade enables data sharing on chain. This facilitates access to information stored on the blockchain without the need of spending or recreating unspent transaction outputs. This will be useful for oracles, especially, for example, as they do transcribe a lot of data back and forth between all types of dApps and DEXs. We also have the addition of inline datums. This is CIP32, and this essentially simplifies how datums are used. A user can see the actual datum rather than supply it to match the given hash. This is useful for sure. And implementations of reference scripts, CIP33, will basically allow upgrades for developers to reference a script without including it in each transaction, drastically increasing or decreasing the amount of redundancy through transactions, and especially with a dApp or DEX that uses a smart contract address, and being able to use it only once and reference it over and over again without spending those extra costs for execution, and also just reducing transaction size and improving throughput overall. Now, for Plutus v2, the Vasil upgrade will also include Cardano cryptographic primitive improvements, basically enabling greater interoperability for other blockchains. This is definitely a huge step in Cardano's mission statements, as we want to make Cardano a open source piece of protocol, and we want Cardano to be interoperable with other blockchains. The first improvement for Plutus v2 is Plutus evaluator speed improvements, and this is going to enable scripts having lower cost model parameters than before, resulting in 20 to 30% improvements in a script resource usage. After that, we have updated cost model parameters, which will provide better interoperability once again between Cardano and other blockchains, such as Cardano or Ethereum. In CIP42, we have a serialized data function, reducing the overall memory and CPU costs, allowing for more optimized and generic ways of data serialization. Lastly, for Plutus v2, we have Datums and Redeemers, and this will, following the Vasil upgrade, allow developers to be able to see redeemers for all inputs rather than just the one being passed to the currently executing script. A few more enhancements that come with the Vasil's upgrade are things like the script collateral adjustment, basically allowing the amount of collateral someone has to not be taken the full UTXO and saving users a lot of ADA in the event that the collateral is taken. This is definitely a major increase to user security and user friendliness of the blockchain in general, and it will allow a lot of dApps to avoid that 5 ADA or 10 ADA collateral being set and having it be a lot less if it does go through and something goes wrong and the collateral is taken. Finally, Vasil optimizes Ouroboros' VRF process. Basically, before Vasil, block validation required 2 VRF functions in every network hop. Vasil drops one of these functions, resulting in a faster block validation and network syncing times overall. Users will experience higher performance without compromising any security settings. To wrap it all up into one little blurb, diffusion pipelining will allow for greater network throughput, while the new Plutus enhancements will open up new developer use cases and offer significantly improved dApp user experiences. This is the Vasil upgrade. This will go live on mainnet, basically once developers and SPOs are comfortable and ready. So the lion's share of SPOs are upgraded to 135.0 on mainnet, and it's been that 4 weeks of testing on testnet, plus we have a bunch of other exchanges and other things on board. Then the upgrade for mainnet Vasil will go live or be proposed and go live shortly after. So there's no concrete dates on the mainnet release, but to be honest, I'm in no rush. I don't see why I would be, and I am looking forward to seeing the benefits of a scaled Cardano network. If you are an ADA holder, luckily you don't actually have to do anything. Basically, hold your Cardano, use your dApps going forward, and when the technology increases for Cardano's hard fork and Vasil comes to the mainnet, you'll be able to benefit and use basically everything as if you did before, only it will be faster and a better experience every single time, hopefully, and that is pretty much it. All you have to do is look forward to greater efficiency and faster transaction processing times. So yeah, that's the Vasil upgrade. I hope this video helped. I will leave this article by Tim Harrison linked down in the description if you want to read it more in depth for yourself. But pretty much we're going along the roadmap for Cardano. Everything's going good. I've probably talked about Vasil in like 30 videos now, it feels like. If this is getting boring, I apologize, but there is a lot to cover for sure. And it does help to cover it over and over again so people understand the heavy significance of this upgrade, as it definitely is a major one. And especially for the fact that everyone bashes on Cardano for not scaling. We have a very decentralized blockchain here, going through scaling seamlessly in a hard fork that the users have nothing to worry about. They just, leave their Cardano in their wallet, no need to do anything, and they can enjoy the benefits. That's the power of Cardano. That's the power of a lot of things going on right now. And I hope to see you guys in tomorrow's video. It's been your friend Jack. Peace out.